Eric, Molly, for us here in the Pacific Northwest and in Seattle, we have stomached this virus longer than any other region in the country. Since its outbreak, we've taken you to the hot spots. We've walked the halls of the packed ICUs. We've shown you the businesses now boarded up from the economic fallout. We've heard stories of incredible resilience and those of sobering death. So for many here in our region, to watch the president continue to shake off the virus's seriousness, it's personal.
Don't let it dominate you. Don't be afraid of it. You're going to beat it.
Some will beat the virus, some won't, some couldn't. Are these words of toughness, or was the president out of touch?
There are real people dying, real people who were really healthy to start with. And this virus is taking them out.
Kathy Julian knows the real toll of this novel virus all too well. She watched her husband Kurt die from it in May.
To have our leader acting as though, I don't know if these are his exact words, but it's no big deal. There's nothing to be afraid of. It seems very cavalier, very calloused, and very self-centered.
Kurt Julian, an ICU nurse, was on the front line to the COVID outbreak in Kirkland.
We have the best medical equipment. We have the best medicines, all developed recently.
Kathy says Kurt couldn't get the drugs the president got, like Regeneron, an experimental antibody cocktail, or remdesivir, an antiviral shown to shorten hospital stays.
It's just an embarrassment.
Neither could Scott Sedlacek, who survived through the disease.
He had access to drugs that I didn't have, and I wouldn't have if I went to the hospital a day.
Scott lived. So did his dad, Chuck, who contracted the virus at the Life Care Center in Kirkland. For Kathy, an ICU nurse herself, she fears the president's posture could downplay the virus's wrath.
This isn't just a hoax, as I saw written on somebody's disposable mask going out of the grocery store. And I thought, it's not. There are people so incredibly affected by this.
Yeah, the governor says that the president's actions and words could actually drive the death rate up. Now, the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation at the University of Washington has the numbers for us. They say if people follow the president's lead and don't mask up, we'll see 435,000 deaths by January 1st instead of the 363,000 now projected. If more people masked up, though, they say the number drops to 278,000 deaths.
I just have to tell you what's so troublesome to me. When he was standing on that balcony, you can look out towards the Washington Monument, and if you looked out there, this is what you'd see last night. 20,000 chairs around the Washington Monument. You can see that from the south balcony. And those 20,000 chairs, each one represents 10 deceased Americans killed by the COVID virus. Over 200,000 people represented by that. And how anyone could look out on the representation of 200,000 deceased Americans and belittle the threat that this virus poses.
That's a dangerous message because right now we have over 210,000 deaths in the United States. COVID-19 is the second leading cause of mortality this year after ischemic heart disease, before lung cancer, and before diabetes. So how could we say this is not a dangerous disease?
Mary, 150 people signed up to speak. The overwhelming feedback: rewrite the mayor's proposals, defund the police, and let community groups decide how to reinvest the money. The virtual hearing became a parade of criticism against Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkan's spending plan.
Her bogus $100 million investment into BIPOC communities is just a total shell game.
We want to work together to win a budget that works for all of us, one that divests from police, divests from pollution, and invests in community.
Much of the controversy swirls around the size of the police budget and calls by activists to cut it in half. But some neighborhood groups worry there's no backup plan in place.
We're just being led down a wrong path, and we've got activists running this city, and this is out of control.
There are also outcries over the $100 million promised to multicultural community groups. Durkan wants to fund that with the new Jumpstart tax on big business, even though it was intended for COVID relief and affordable housing.
The funds, the revenue, should not come from the Jumpstart tax.
Jonathan Fickrey with Climate Justice for Black Lives also opposes the mayor's budget task force, which he says is meant to circumvent the push for participatory budgeting.
Folks are able to have input and can kind of help shape the conversation in terms of where those funds go.
I don't see leadership in the council. I just see a bunch of activists.
See them through the masks. Utter and complete domination. In a year we will never forget. The Seattle Storm are the team we will always remember.
Developing tonight, the Seattle Storm complete the sweep, beating the Las Vegas Aces in 3 games to win the WNBA championship. It's the second title for the Storm in 3 years and the 4th overall for the franchise.
There's something. Sports Director Mike Ferrari is here with more. And Mike, they're absolutely amazing, aren't they?
Just a dominant basketball team, Eric. They knew going to the gym this afternoon they were on the brink of coronation as the WNBA champs. They just had to beat Las Vegas one more time. The Storm, they did get off to a slow start, but late in the first quarter, they did kick it into gear and they got things rolling. Breanna Stewart ended up being the WNBA Finals MVP. She leads the way tonight with 26 points. Jewel Lloyd was in one of those zones where she simply could not miss. She ends up finishing with 19 points. And Sue Bird, the veteran in her 19th year, ended up with 7 assists and scored 5 points. The Storm pounded Las Vegas 92-59 to win the championship series in the 3-game sweep down in the WNBA bubble down in Florida. The Storm owners made the trip down for the game, and they saw the finals in person and from a distance enjoyed the confetti falling on their team, their championship team, as they celebrated. The Storm have been in the bubble since July 6th. They haven't left in 97 days. They'll leave tomorrow as the champs.
To be able to be the 2020 WNBA champs, it's a huge gold star next to that. This season wasn't easy, and it wasn't easy in a whole bunch of different areas. You know, with the coronavirus, with the social injustices going on in this country, with the day-to-day of just being here stuck in the bubble. But our team is resilient. We continue to keep going no matter what's going on. And I'm super proud to kind of be a part of this.